Okay, I'm at 6724 Maverick Drive in Westchester Township, Ohio, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. The main thing we're looking for is structural issues, but if I see anything that would be concerning to the buyers, we'll make note of it. Now, this is a strange situation because this has a grinder pump inside the basement because the sewer main is too high. Meaning, most sewers are gravity. In this case, they use gravity inside the house. They bring it over, which I'll kind of show with the camera here. But they bring it over. You can see there is one of the stacks on the far end. It comes underground, goes through this clean out, which is where we'll be accessing it. It comes into this grinder pump system here. You have redundant pumps that pump it up and then out, and you can see the flex hose. That black flex hose is where it exits the house. Now, the problem with this, as far as an inspection is concerned, is that there's really no way to inspect the interior of that line. Basically it's like a water line. That's what they use. They use a flexible water line, and it's under pressure, so you can't get access to it. So there's usually, once it gets outside, there's usually another gravity line that takes it over to the main. Well, in this case, I have no idea where this is running. The nearest main that I could find is actually a high end, which is the beginning of a sewer main, and it's in front of 6727 across the street. If you're facing their house, it's on the left property line of their house. So all these houses in this cul-de-sac have to be pumped, and I'm assuming that they're pumped into another line that carries it up to the sewer main in front of 6727. I couldn't find any other access other than a storm. So what we're going to do is we're going to access it from this clean out, and we'll inspect going both directions, but we're only going to be doing the interior line. And so first we'll go down to this is the downstream side, and you can see this pump, or what's in this well. It's a pump well, and so it's a fairly large holding tank, but you can see the water level in the tank already. And then from here is that's where it's pumped out to go out the side. There's also no tracer wire with it, so I can't hook onto it to trace to see where it even runs. You'd have to get those plans from the builder and make sure that you have something that shows where that runs for any kind of future maintenance you may need to do outside. You want to make sure that you know where that line runs. And so what we're going to do is we're going upstream, and we're going to take a look at all the interior piping. Make sure that the PVC in the house is in good shape and doesn't have any issues. And once we get all the way up, I'll go ahead and run the water in the back bathroom, or as far back as possible. There's a couple pieces of pea gravel in the line. I'm sure that's from when they put the line in. They would have bedded it pea gravel and not concrete. Should basically go back to either stack into the wall or into the bathroom floor drain in the back right hand corner of the basement. Not really sure. We'll keep trying to push. See how far we can get it anyway. There's been a lot of turns so far. Should be getting pretty close now. We're getting close to the drain because of all that goo. We're getting close to the floor drain. Back by the, most likely back by the hot water heater. Or we're going straight back to the toilet. And there we are, there's the end of it right there. So, we made it all the way to the other end of the house. It's about 70 feet of pipe, as you can see. And everything looked good. Again, I'm going to pause the video. We're going to run some water in that back bathroom. Kind of get an idea of how far out we are. And also to watch the line function as we pull the camera back. Okay, so we are in the toilet. Right underneath the toilet in there. We still have some water running through. Should stop here in a second. It's probably a we also have the sink running. You can see that kind of looks like the bottom of the toilet actually. If you look just at the very top of it, it looks like a little bit of edge of the porcelain. And I just flushed that so we can see what was going on. And then right there to the right is where the bathroom sink comes in. I have it running so we can watch this. Not going to be uncommon to see the water raise a little bit because of, you know, it's hitting the camera in the face, so it's actually, the camera's trying to, actually the water's kind of plowing up on the edge of the camera. But the line looked really good. I didn't see any issues at all, which is kind of what we expect. But again, you're going to want to get as much information as you can from the builder about the, there's obviously a owner's manual for the pump, but see if you can get some drawing that shows where the pressurized line from the ejector pump goes and where it runs to, so that you have an idea in case you ever do any kind of construction outside. Because like I said, there is no, at least not that I could see, there is no tracer wire with that plastic pressurized line, which means you can't locate it if you need to. And so you want to try to get as much information as far as where the placement is and where this runs to for any kind of future maintenance or any future issues. You don't plan on having them, but even for, you know, possibly the next buyer, you want to have as much information as you can. But as you can see, this line is in really, really good shape. And here we are coming out of the clean out. But the line looked great. I mean, it looks like it was installed well. Again, with the ejector pump, just make sure you do have your any kind of evidence that you can get as far as where that pump line goes. There may be another shared pit somewhere. I don't know. Looks like a bunch of these other ejector pits were on the exterior of the house. That may be. I'm not sure what the reasoning for that is compared to this, why this one's in the house and the other ones are next to the house. But the control panel and the tank themselves are on the exterior of the house. Now, if this ever fails, this will alarm. It has a backup pump, but it also has them like float alarms and stuff like that, to where if it gets too high, it will alarm so that you can quit using water before it comes up in a tub or comes out of the floor drain back there by the HVAC. It should alarm well prior to that, so that you don't end up with stuff backing up into your house, and then you'll have to get, you know, any maintenance that's required will be done then. And it probably has a regular maintenance schedule you're supposed to keep as far as testing the pumps and all that good stuff. I know this is the big thing, like I said, is finding out where that line runs so that you know where it discharges to. And so if you ever need to repair it, or if there's any problems with it, you don't want sewage leaching out into the ground. You want to be able to find this line and make any repairs that you can. And so the interior line looks wonderful. There's no issues at all, no defects, and so that's good. It's just getting as much information as you can about this grinder pump system so you know where everything runs. So that's going to end the inspection at 6724 Maverick Drive in Westchester Township.